Hey everyone, I just finished reading this book, Disgrace by J M Coetzee. I hope I'm saying that right. It is the winner of the 1999 Booker Prize and a masterpiece, perhaps the best novel to carry off the Booker in a decade, says The Independent. So I thought this looks really good. Now, I'm not sure I'm not sure what to say about it. It wasn't the easiest book to read. I had a hard time getting into it, and it deals with a lot of different themes. It deals with, it's called Disgrace. It deals with the downfall, I guess, of a man, an old man who's always liked young women, who is, he's twice divorced. He sleeps with one of his students. He loses his job, and it's just about him kind of falling from disgrace. Not just him though. I mean, his daughter. He goes to visit his daughter, and what his daughter's life has turned out as, I guess, as a father, it would be very, very hard to live with. But he has no power over her. It deals with the, I guess you could call it the South African society. I mean, this was written in 1999, where here we are 22 years later, and South Africa's still in an awful mess. A friend of mine who's South African sent me a video of a black dude saying, what are you doing with Africa, you people? You can't handle it. Give it back to the Boers. I thought, wow, are you kidding me? But then he tells me he's from South Africa, he's white, and he tells me what it's like out there. I mean, the country's a mess. I think he'd really enjoy this book. It is well written. There's a lot of themes going for it. I mean, the guy's trying to write an opera, and that chops and changes. The guy is... He loses everything, basically. So it's not a happy book, but it is a well-written book. I don't know what to make of it, like I said, but here we go. Like I said, there's lots of themes running through this, right? So Paul Bailey of The Independent says, Disgrace is a subtle, multi-layered story, as much concerned with politics as it is with the itch of male flesh. Coetzee's prose is chaste and lyrical. It is a relief to encounter writing as quietly stylish as this. It is well written. I mean, there's lots of Italian in it, I think, which I didn't understand. But you can just, I don't know, you can kind of imagine being the guy, and what he's going through is horrible. But there's no overindulgence in the gore or the pain. It just kind of lets the events roll out, and you think, this is unbelievable, but I can see how it might happen. So yeah, it's well written. Do I give this 8, 9, 10 out of 10 like I do a lot of the other books I review? No, I give it about a 6. Maybe, it went over me. Everybody's different. Some people like Marmite, some people don't. So, interesting book. I never would have read it, but fortunately I'm staying in a converted chapel in Yorkshire with a bookshelf well stocked with books, and I've got time to read. So I did enjoy it. It is well written. I mean, there are bits in it that actually make you bristle with anger, so it must be well written. There are bits in it that kind of make your stomach turn, but you think, yeah, I could see how that could happen, so that's very well written. It's like, they say truth is stranger than fiction. You can imagine this being true and thinking, my God, how does that happen? But then you just look at the state of, maybe sometimes you look at the state of your friends or yourself or your own life, and you think, how did this happen? This is awful. And I think that's something important for artists, for writers to do, is actually challenge people, make people feel things. It's about, you have this idea that everything's going to be lovely and nice, but it's not. And can a book make you see that? Can a book make you consider things that were maybe too awful to fit into your little, I don't know, fucking Pollyanna view of the world or something? I just swore. But good book. Look, if somebody said, shall I read this? I wouldn't say no. If they said, do you think it's the best book you've ever written? I wish I haven't won a Booker Prize. The best book you've ever read, I'd say no. Go ahead, read it. It's only, it's less than 300 pages. It's 220 pages. It's a 2-sitting book. So, good. The more I talk about it, probably, and the more it kind of percolates in my mind, the more I like it. So I guess it is good. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. That probably wasn't a very helpful review, but I enjoyed doing it. So there you go.